Okay, so thank you everybody for being here at the Kingdom Impact Masterclass. If you're here for the first time or you're watching the replay, I want to just extend a special welcome to you. You're in good hands, and I'm very excited to get to know you, get to know the message that's burning in your heart to share with the world. Um, for those who haven't met me, my name is Melisa. I will tell you a little bit more about my story in a little bit, but I want to talk about your story tonight and your experience. So before we start, I want you to just take a minute to imagine that you have created a huge feast. Maybe it's a Thanksgiving dinner. You have spent months and months planning out this meal. You have shopped for the ingredients. You've meticulously planned what time the different dishes need to go in the oven. You've set the table with your best crockery. You took your crystals and your silver, you polished your silver. You have gone to the ends of the earth to create a delicious, nutritious meal. And you've created this feast, and it's about to be time for everybody to come and enjoy the meal. You're getting ready, you're putting your best dress on, and you get ready to receive your guests, and nobody comes. Nobody comes. And as you think about why that is, why is nobody here? Why has nobody come to enjoy this delicious food? You realize that you haven't sent out the invitations. Okay. That is how I felt when I published my first book, Untangled. I spent so much time focusing on the meal, preparing for the meal, getting my best out in front of the world, spending time writing that book, editing, formatting, doing all of the things, going through the motions. And when I hit the publish button, nobody was there. It didn't mean that the meal wasn't delicious, that it wasn't nutritious, that it wasn't my best work yet. It just meant that nobody knew that it was available. Nobody received an invitation to the table. So that's the thing that we really want to fix tonight. If you have a message, if you have a light that needs to go out into the world, people need to know where to go to receive the nutrition, to receive the joy, the deliciousness of your message, to find the nutrients in it. They need to know what's on the menu, and they need to know where to go to find it. So we're going to look at that tonight. And if you are here because you have a message from heaven, a mandate from the Lord to share good news with the poor, then you are in the right place. I just want to start with that point actually. Like, we are not here tonight only to market our books, to sell books to people we don't know. We are here because the Spirit of the Lord is upon us. The Spirit of the Lord is upon you. He has anointed you to proclaim good news to the poor. And I honestly believe with all my heart that every person that connects with Paper Crown Media is a person with a message that is good news to the poor. And we all have very specific good news, and we all have specific group of people that need that good news. And I want to challenge you tonight that if you don't know what your good news is and who your poor is, then we have the resources to help you. Please reach out to me, because this is the foundation that we build on. We want to have a really secure foundation into who we are. It's so much bigger than just writing and publishing a book. You are the message. You're a living, breathing epistle. You have a testimony. You've walked with the Lord. You have experience with Him. Your message comes from that place of intimacy with God. So, knowing who you are and how He created you to be, that is going to be at the very core of what you do. You are a unique expression of the Father's heart for the people He loves. So we need to know exactly what is that expression. And there is purpose to that message. There is a problem that you are created to solve in the earth. As sons and daughters of God, we are not here just to look clever, right? We're not just here to be writing books so that we can look like we're important and we've got a lot of knowledge. It's not about the knowledge that we have to share. It's about the problems that we are solving. And it's about the people we solve that problem for. So understanding exactly who those people are, that's where your calling is. Your calling is always connected to people. So we need to know who we are. We need to know what problem we're solving. And we need to understand who we are solving that problem for. That's the foundation. We do everything in Paper Crown Media, whether that's writing our books or marketing the books, it's the same foundation: identity, purpose, and calling. And my prayer tonight is that you will get a glimpse or deeper understanding of what your identity, purpose, and calling is as you navigate this journey of being a kingdom messenger. You know, we don't just want to have influence in the world, we want to have impact. We want our stories to connect, to change the world. The world is in such a state of chaos at the moment, but we do not have to be intimidated by it, right? We are seated in Christ in heavenly places, far above all powers and principalities. And we are here to be light in the darkness, to be a light for that person who is sitting in the pit of despair, who needs to find their way home to their Father. So, again, if that's you, you are in a good place tonight. Okay, so my intention for this class is to help you build your audience. Now, whether you have launched your book or you haven't just yet, you're still in the process, that's fine. If you're an existing author with other books that you've written, you're in the right place. We will help you get that message into the hands of the people who need it. My heart is really to help you break out of the friends and family bubble. When I wrote my book Untangled, I really could not get out of my immediate audience. My friends and family bought my book, they supported me, and it was amazing. I'm so grateful for all of those people and the people that I connected with along the journey. They've been amazing supporters. But the truth is, I didn't write my book for them. I wrote my book for that person who was stuck in the pit of despair, who was in mental torment every single day. I knew that the Father wanted to help them, that He wanted to give them the peace that surpasses all understanding. I knew that joy was their portion, that they could walk in victory and freedom from this mental torment. I wanted to reach that person. So that's what we're going to look at today. Did you know that on average, Christian authors sell around 250 copies of the books that they publish? That to me is just not right. Okay, we don't want to pour out all of that energy, that love, and the time, the money, the resources it takes to write and publish a book, only for it to go to 250 people. And most of those will be friends and family. Okay. We wrote our books because we want to solve problems. There are thousands of people out there who need your message, who need to connect with your light, who need to receive that impact that's on your life, that anointing that you have to share good news. So we want to reach those people. And that's my heart, my intention for this class is to give you at least one strategy tonight that will help you grow. So I want you to come with an expectation. I want you to expect to receive something tonight that's really going to help you connect with the readers who need to read your book, that need to learn from you, that need to experience that same transformation that you have experienced in your own life. Okay. So, to get the most out of this workshop, I want you to encourage you to be present, turn off all the distractions, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay. Make sure that you have some time to really focus on what we're going to share and do the work. I'm going to ask you to share a key takeaway from tonight's session and really pay attention. Look for one thing, just one piece of treasure that can really help you connect with your ideal readers. I'm going to ask you to share that in the Answering the Call to Write Facebook group and just hashtag that Kingdom Impact so that I can find you. And we're going to do a prize draw at the end of the week where you can win a strategy session with me. So we will talk specifically about your message and look at how we can help you connect to your audience. I also am offering a level up workshop, which is happening next week, same day, Monday, same time, where we're going to do a 2-hour in-depth workshop. And you will leave with a personalized marketing plan and a custom GPT that can help you with creating your content. That GPT is created with our foundational frameworks. So it takes everything that we train and teach in our workshops, and it helps you create content that's really going to connect with your audience. We also give away an author workbook, the Answering the Call to Write workbook that will help you with everything from writing your message to publishing to launching your book and doing all the marketing. It's a really great workbook that's currently only sold on Amazon, but we do give it away as our as one of the gifts for the level up. It's still available if you want to do it. So just reach out to me if you want the link. I will also pop all the links to all of the things I mentioned tonight. I will pop it in the Answering the Call to Write Facebook group. And again, if there's anything that you're interested in, just make a note of that. At the end of the session today, I will have some time for Q&As and you can ask questions and we will give you all the things you need. Oh, excuse me. I am on my laptop today. And my fingers don't work so well with my laptop. I'm not used to it. Okay, so I just want to very quickly share my story um, and let you know why I am here doing what I'm doing. So in 2010, I had a God encounter that changed my life completely. So I had struggled from mental torment, depression, body image issues for most of my life. The first time I went on a diet, I was about 12 years old. I believe that all of these issues that I had with my body image stemmed from a trauma that I experienced when I was 7 years old. I gave my life to Jesus when I was only 6. I called my dad into his office. My dad's a pastor. I knew all the important conversations were happening in his office behind his desk. So I pulled him into the office and very officially announced that I wanted to give my life to Jesus. And he called me over, put me on his lap, and prayed the prayer of salvation for me, with me. And that day I was born into the kingdom. But as I said, at the age of 7, I suffered a traumatic event that really had a huge effect on my mind, my heart, my emotions. And I was a mess. It started to really play out as I went into adolescence. I started having all sorts of issues with body image, mental health, with food, eating disorders, all sorts of things. And I tried everything to fix myself on the outside. Every therapy, every diet, every medicine. I had injections. I even had gastric bypass surgery when I was 16 years old because I believed that it would solve the problem. It didn't. That operation was botched. I had to have it reversed when I was in my early 20s. I had incredible pain and symptoms from that process. And I was no way near finding the freedom that I was looking for. I really got depressed and really struggled with depression. I had exhausted every option you can imagine to get free. I even went to Bible school for a year trying to find that connection with God because I knew that He was the only one who could help me. I tried everything and I still couldn't connect with Him. After a year in Bible school, I realized that I had a lot of information. A lot of it I had known already because I have been a seeker all my life. But what I needed more than anything was transformation from the inside out. I didn't know that was what I needed, but that's what I needed. So anyway, I learned how to cope with all the symptoms, with the struggle, and life got easier every now and again. I learned a new strategy, learned something new, or found a therapy or something that would work for a little while, a new diet or a new program. But the change never lasted. And I carried all of that hurt and shame and struggle with me as I got married and had children. And when I have two kids, my son is 18, my daughter is 16. When she was just born, my second baby, everything intensified, and I felt like the wheels were falling off my wagon. It's the only way I can explain it. I really, really had a difficult time pulling myself together. And there was one morning I said to my husband, "This is it. I give up on God. I cannot believe that He would let me struggle like this, that I would be in this mental torment. I don't believe that He either knows what I'm going through or He doesn't know or He doesn't care. I was just done. I was done with searching." So a few days later, my husband suggested that I go and watch the movie Tangled. I was with my son. He was 3 years old at the time. I put my daughter down for a nap. My husband very kindly decided that, it's a good idea to get me out of the house. And so we did. We went to watch the movie. And as I walked into the theater, I could tangibly feel the presence of God even before the movie started. I always get emotional when I tell this story because it was so incredible the way God met me in that cinema. He was already there waiting for me. And as the movie unfolded on the big screen, as it opened, and I saw the story of Rapunzel, things started to click into place for me. I started to realize what was going on behind the scenes of my life. I started to see that I had an enemy that came to kill, steal, and destroy. I started to recognize some of the lies I believed, and it started to get me untangled. It was a process of becoming untangled, and but I knew that I was different when I left that cinema because I encountered the love of the Father. So, for those of you who don't know the movie, point. There's a point in the story where the king always celebrates Rapunzel every year on her birthday. The whole kingdom participates in putting these lanterns out into the sky. And it's this celebration of Rapunzel that caught her attention, that she noticed from her tower. And it put her on a journey to find the kingdom and to connect with her father. So as I saw that tear run down the king's cheek as he lit the first lantern for his daughter, that stronghold in my heart started to crumble. I saw the face of the father, and I realized that I was loved. I was so loved that he cared, that he had such compassion for what I was going through. And it was that compassion that set me free. I know you have a story too. You have experienced the love of the Father. It has transformed your life. And you know that it's only the love of God that can help someone. And that's why we are here, right? That's why we want to write our books, why we want to share our messages, because there was nothing more that I wanted than to tell the world that the Father loves them. And it's the love of the Father that will help them get untangled. So the obvious thing to do was to write a book, right? I wanted to share my story, or just bear with me. Sorry, I've got a hot water bottle. I've got some stiffness in my neck. I just need to reposition it. Um, I wanted the whole world to know um, that the Father loves them. So obviously, the next best thing was to write a book, to get that out into the world. I was going to write my book, open my laptop, start writing, and it was just going to bless everyone, and it was just going to fly off the shelves. Oh, sorry. Um, but guess what? That was not the case. Sorry, I have lost my place again. Oh my goodness. Ah, so I started writing a book, and I had loads of prophetic words that confirmed that I needed to write a book. So I thought it's going to be easy. I'm just going to open my laptop. But when I wrote my book, in that process, I realized that writing the book is one thing, publishing the book is another thing, but getting that book into the hands of the people who actually need the message, that is a whole different story. It needed a whole different set of skills. And it wasn't easy. My writing and publishing journey wasn't easy. I share more about that in the Born to Write blueprint class. But the marketing piece to me was extremely frustrating. And I even started to second guess, did God really call me to write this book? Was it really something I needed to do with my life? Because it wasn't very fruitful. And I couldn't understand why God would call me to do this, and then this message doesn't go anywhere. So it's one of the things that I've passionately pursued is like, how do I actually get my message from the bookshelf into the hands of the people who need it? But I want to share just one more thing with you before I go into the marketing piece. And that is, as I was going through one of these very difficult times, I was just seeking the Lord one morning. I was worshiping, and as I was worshiping, I saw myself as a little girl lying before Jesus making paper crowns. And I made these elaborate crowns. They had glitter and feathers and all sorts of decorations on them, crayons, and it was just these elaborate crowns. And I would hand them to Jesus, and I would see this look on his face, and it was just priceless. Like he just delighted in these paper crowns, and I couldn't make them fast enough. I just wanted to make him another one and another one. And I knew God was saying to me that my books, the things that I create, whether it's a blog or a social media post, that was like a paper crown to him. He delighted in it. It was like he was wearing a crown made of gold or rubies and diamonds. And it's the same for you. The things that you create with Him, He loves it so much. It's treasure to Him. And then I saw the Father take these crowns, or I saw Jesus take these crowns and hand them to the Father. And the Father was sending them out into the night sky like these paper crowns or these paper lanterns. And it filled the sky. I don't know if you saw the movie Tangled, but there were thousands of lanterns that lit up the sky. It was huge. It was just lights everywhere. And it was those lights that called Rapunzel home. And I knew that God was saying that there are so many people with so many stories that can impact the world. And these stories need to be seen. They need to get out there into the world. They need to connect with the people who are sitting in their towers stuck, that are listening to the lies of the enemy, that are living a life that was never meant for them to live. So that became the foundation or the core message of Paper Crown Media. That's how Paper Crown Media was born. And that is why we do what we do. We want to help everyone make their paper crown and get that lantern out into the world so that the person who needs it and can find their way back home to the Father. Okay, so as I went through my journey, my writing journey, I started to just note down my experiences. I did not want anybody else to go through the same experience that I did. So all of the mistakes I made, I put it into a little book called Answering the Call to Write. And people started to connect with me. I started helping people organically with their writing, publishing, and marketing their books. And I give this book away for free. There is a free copy for you in the Answering the Call to Write Facebook group. So when you join, if you go to the guides or it's the files, in the files, you will find a free copy of the book. And in that book, I share everything I wish I'd known before I said yes to answering my call to write. Now, in the Born to Write Blueprint workshop, I share I share the three biggest mistakes that I made. And tonight I'm going to share with you mistake number 4. But just to give you a quick overview of those three big mistakes, the first one was that I didn't see the bigger picture. I was so focused on my book that I didn't realize that the calling was bigger than just writing and publishing a book. It was about ministry. It was about really reaching the hearts of the people who needed the message. And it was not just a book. It was bigger. And we're going to talk about that bigger picture tonight as well. Like, what does that look like? But because I spent so much time on the book itself, on writing and publishing, I didn't really see all the other pieces that needed to be part of this puzzle I was building. But we're going to go through that tonight. The other mistake I did was I wrote about everything. I thought that everybody needed to know my whole entire life story. So I shared everything that happened to me. I shared everything I learned in the movie, all the revelations I had discovered in my journey with God over 10 years, and it was too much. Everybody, I mean, you can just imagine how overwhelming it is when you meet someone for the first time and you hear their whole entire life story. You're going to clock out very quickly, right? So you don't have to write about everything. And then the other problem I did was I was writing for everyone. I thought this message is so good. I was like the woman at the well. I just wanted to tell everybody what Jesus did for me. And I didn't really think about who my message was for. And again, that's why we start with the foundational stuff. It's about identity, purpose, and calling, because you have a unique expression of the Father's heart for a people He loves. You have a specific message, you solve a specific problem, and you have a specific audience. So those are the things that you really need to get clarity on before you even start writing your book, and certainly before you start marketing that book. Now, mistake number four that I made was did my writing and my publishing before I established the platform. I was shining my light before I had a lampstand. So, what we want to do is we really need to think about how am I going to reach the people once we know who we are reaching and why we are reaching them, um, and how, how are we actually going to get connected with the people that we call to reach? Once we've got that established, then we can start working on the book, writing and publishing the actual book. Now, when you do it like me, that's okay. I managed to fix it and get the horse in front of the cart eventually. But the good news for you is you don't have to start with your horse in the wrong position, right? You don't want to put the horse behind the cart. You need the horse to pull the cart. So the horse is your platform. The horse is the system that you have put in place so that you can reach the people you need to reach and solve the problems you need to solve for them. Okay. So, if you have a light tonight, which I believe if you are here, you have a light. You have a light to share with the world. You are a city that is set on a hill. You have a light that shouldn't be hidden, but you need to put it on a lampstand. Jesus said in Matthew 5 that you are the light of the world. So we need to talk about the lampstand. That's what we're talking about tonight. How do we get your light on that lampstand? And it's not about having a platform or being as good as some of the other authors out there or comparing yourself to other authors with big platforms. That's not at all what this is about. It's about the fact that you have a message that is going to give light to the people in the house. It's going to give light to people who need it, who are struggling. So let's talk about that lampstand. Okay, so when I started with trying to market my book, I was very quickly overwhelmed with all the practicalities. So you would hear all these different strategies. You've got to be on social media. You need to create a funnel. You need to have a website. You have to grow an email list. You have to do podcasting, go for speaking events, do all of the things. And again, my focus was off because I was focusing on the task rather than the bigger picture, the calling, the identity, purpose, and calling, right? I was just trying to do all of the different things because I was trying to sell a book to people I did not know. And that is the biggest, biggest piece of revelation, or the biggest problem that authors experience is that they are not known. And if you're not known, there's no trust. So, what we do is we spend our whole life, all our energy looking for the secret formula. And I'm here to let you know that there isn't a secret formula because what works for me isn't going to work for you because you're a unique expression with a unique audience. And that's why it's so important that we engage with the Father, with the Holy Spirit, and ask them to help us to find out who we are, who we serve, and how we're going to serve them. And what we need to do more than anything is fall in love with the people that God loves, with the people that He entrusted us with. And building trust, that takes time. When I was growing up, these were some of the people with the big platforms. Um, I read a lot of Joyce Meyer, Lisa Bevere, John Aldrich, but I want you to think of some of the names that you are following at the moment. There's Christine Kane, another lady with a huge platform. But what these people have in common is that they didn't get there overnight. We look at them right now and we think, wow, they were just in the right place at the right time. They have these big audiences, so it's easy for them to market the next book. But they spent many years building trust. Joyce Meyer says it took her 20, um, she had 25 people in her little home group for about 6 years before any of her messages got traction when she started building her audience. I mean, that is a long time. Lisa Bevere, John Bevere, they spent a decade building their platform. And I know John and Stacey Aldrich, they also spent many years counseling people, loving people, really pouring into their community. And it's the trust that their audience had in them that created the platform that made them successful when they started to write and publish their books. So, how do we build trust? Now, this is something I discovered when I was working on a leadership development program many, many years ago when I was in the corporate world. And I saw this leadership model, and it really, really spoke to my heart. And I'll tell you why in a second. But as a leader, which you are as an author, you're a leader, you are leading people somewhere. You are taking them on a journey, and you want those people to trust you, to have enough faith in you to buy the book, to sign up to the course, to make that journey with you. Now, when you are looking for buy-in within your team as a leader, there are two elements that every leader needs to communicate. They need to show that they are competent, and they need to show that they care. If you have a leader who's very competent, they know a lot of stuff, right? They're very talented, and they know their stuff, but you don't feel like they've got your best interest at heart, that they can see you or they care about you. You will respect them, but respect isn't trust. Respect is respect. They'll think you're a cool guy. You know a lot of stuff. When you communicate that you care about someone, but you're not really competent, when you have a lot of love and you communicate that love, people will think you're an awesome person. They will have a lot of affection for you, but they're not necessarily going to buy your book, right? They're not necessarily going to sign up to your course or want to know what you have to say because you're nice, you're lovely, but you're not showing that you're competent. So, in order to create trust with your audience, you need to communicate both competence and care. And I want to go as far as to say that communicating care when you start out is more important than showing competence. So many authors and coaches and leaders out there lead with knowledge. They lead with what they know, but they don't always communicate that they can see the other person on the other side, that they have their best interest at heart. When I was preparing this course, the Lord spoke to me so clearly, and He said to me, Melissa, the reason why you are struggling is because you don't trust me. You believe that I am able to do it. He said, he reminded me, I just got this picture of standing in church singing that song, God is able. He is able. He's able to move the mountains. But the thing that was missing from my faith was that I did not believe that God wanted to do it for me. I did not believe that He had my best interest at heart, that He loved me. It was the love that was missing. And that was why my faith wasn't working. There was no trust. There was no real trust. And there are so many people in the world, they know God is able. They sing it every Sunday, but they don't believe that He is willing to do it for them. And that's where, when we understand that we can help people step into that place where they can connect with the heart of God, where they can really experience His love through us, we become that channel that helps them connect to the heart of the Father. And when we communicate that, in our social media, in our blogs, even in our books. That's when people really start to experience that transformation. And that's where trust starts to build, not just trust between you and your reader, but trust between the reader and the Father. So it is a huge mandate that we have signed up for. Okay. So, oh, hold on. Now I'm doing the same thing again. Sorry. So, just practically speaking, what we need to have is a system it's going to be the horse that pulls the cart. It's going to be the engine that drives the vehicle that helps you connect with the people so that you can nurture them and help them grow. So we need to have a strategy to know how we are going to connect with our audience, how we're going to nurture them, and how we're going to take them a little bit deeper. How are we going to work with them to get that problem solved that we are called to help them solve? Oh my goodness, I apologize. I really have lost the ability to navigate on my laptop. Okay, so where do you connect with your readers? Do you know where they hang out? Do you know where you're going to connect with them? So you may have a website, you may have a lead generator, you may run workshops, you may do events, you may go on podcasts, you may be active on social media. But how do you create a connection with that reader that is going to establish a relationship where they're not just seeing you once, but they're going to connect with you for the long term? They're going to get to know you, going to get to know your heart for them. They're going to get to know your message, and they're going to journey with you. So I just want you to have a think. What is that for you? Do you have a website? Do you have a lead generator? Do you do workshops? What is that for you? Um, right. Then once people connect with you, how do you look after them? Are you going to nurture them through emails? Are you going to run a small group? You could have a in-person group that you facilitate. You could have an online group like a Facebook group. You could do short courses, more intense workshops. This is where people will start to engage with your books, your programs. And then eventually, what is the end goal for that person? How are you going to help them experience that transformation in their own life that you have experienced? So this might be personal ministry or one-to-one coaching, but that's where it really gets a little bit more intimate. That's your inner circle, the people that you really pour into. Okay, so here is an activation. Um, you know me, I always quote Habakkuk 2:2. The Lord will give you the vision. In the CEV, it's so beautiful. It says, the Lord will give you, he said, sorry, I'll just say it again. He he says, I will give you the message in the form of a vision. Write it so clearly that people can look at it at a glance and run with it. So he's there to help us in everything that we do. He will show you who you are. He will show you what your core message is, the problem that you're solving, who you're solving it for. You can simply ask him. So I want you to write down these questions and ask the Holy Spirit, when you have your time with him, what is the problem I am solving? Who am I solving it for? Where am I going to connect with the people that I am called to help? And how am I helping people on a daily basis to solve this problem? Okay. So I wanted to just very quickly give you an example. just from my perspective, this is what I do in my business to help solve problems. So, what is the problem I'm solving? I'm helping you to fulfill the call of God on your life by writing, publishing, and promoting your message. Who am I solving it for? Kingdom driven Christian authors with a call to write. Where am I going to connect with them? Now, I just have to say, when I started out, I was focusing on all the tasks. So I kind of overextended myself and I did everything. You do not have to do everything. So I'm on Facebook and Insta. I'm on the Bible app, YouVersion. I'm on YouTube. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on all the platforms. And I just, again, I want to tell you, you don't have to be on all the platforms. You just need to have clarity on where your people are hanging out and how you can connect with them. Okay. Now, this is what I'm going to share with you next. The slide I'm sharing with you next is my ideal person's journey with me. This is how I've mapped out where they are going to come from, how I am going to walk with them, what I'm going to offer them at every stage so that there's a system that takes them from the beginning, from connecting with me to actually getting to the point where they are sharing their messages, they are connecting with their audience, they are doing the thing that they were called to do in all the various forms that they need to be doing it. Okay. So I have free offers, and this is where I build connection and trust. I have free workshops. I have an Answering the Call to Write book that I mentioned. I give that book away, even though I spend time, money, finances on writing and publishing that book. It's a book I offer for free. I have a Facebook group called Answering the Call to Write. That group, there's a lot of connection in there, there's resources in there, there's a lot of stuff I give away. Why? Because I care. I care about the people in that group. I love them because I know God has sent them there for a reason. I have a podcast called Answering the Call to Write podcast on YouTube, and I'm also on the YouVersion Bible app. So this is where all the different places, or the main places, I should say, where I connect with people and I love them. That's what I do. I get to know them, I get to know their message, and I give them everything I can to help them. So now they get to the stage where they need some more practical help and support. So this is where they go to the next level. So there are VIP offers, there's a membership, there's small group coaching, there's extra support. So this is now where they really need hands-on help with putting all of these different pieces into place. Eventually, they will want to either grow their platform, build and grow their platform, or they want to publish a book. So that is where we work with them one-on-one. Now, it's not just in a small group, it's one-to-one. Now, I don't know what that is for you. That may look completely different for you, but you will, the important thing here is that you have a starting point where you can connect with your readers so that they can experience the love that you have for them. So in those free offers, you need to communicate at least 80% care and give them about 20% technical support. It's like an 80-20 rule there. In the next level, you're going to be doing 50-50, equal love, equal technical care. And then once you start working with people one-to-one, they don't need to know your heart because they know you. They've been walking with you for a few steps. They know that you care about them. They just need to really focus on getting the job done. So this is where you really hone in on the technical skills that they need in order to get that job done. Now, for you, this may look very different. So I like the example of somebody who's really called to help the body of Christ become fit and healthy, right? So you may have a free guide, a free offer, a Facebook group, a resource that you give away. You may do free workshops, but you're really out there giving people the love and resources, communicating that you care about their health, that you really see the struggle that they've been in. Your focus when you communicate in your free offers should be 80% care. There is a quote that I share so often from Thomas. Oh, I've, who is the guy? No, it's just his name just dropped out of my head. If you can remember, I always quote him. No, it's not Thomas, it's Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt. He says that nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. So you have to show up. And again, I just want to say before you become overwhelmed, you don't have to do all of the things that I mentioned. You just have to do one thing really well. You just need to show up in one place consistently every week, helping people, loving people, showing them what's in your heart and what's in the Father's heart for them. As they get to know you, they will want to move on with you to the next step, which is they'll get the book, they'll get the course, they'll sign up for the events. And then eventually, you may want to think about, okay, how am I going to work with people one on one? That might be personal training for that fitness and well-being, health and well-being coach. That might be one-to-one coaching. So again, it's so much bigger than just the book. Not everybody that connects with you is going to buy your book, but that doesn't mean that they don't connect with you and you don't have an incredible impact on their life. The important thing is that you become visible. And the question I want you to ponder and sit with is, what can I offer to demonstrate my competence and my care? First of all, is there something I can do to show people that I really truly see them, that I know what they're going through, and that I care enough to help them? And is there something I can give them so that they can experience a quick transformation in their circumstances? Okay. So one of the things that we also want to think about when we do our marketing is that we don't have to be everywhere for all the people. It doesn't have to be stressful. So in our Master Your Marketing class, we teach a strategy where you just have one simple journey that you send your readers on. You have a place where they can connect with you, whether that's on your website, on a blog, on your vlog, on your social media. And then they connect to your email list. And through that email list, you can nurture them and you can then get to know them. They get to know you. And if you have any other offers, any other books, any other resources that you are selling, you can then, you have enough of a relationship with them that they will take that offer up. They will buy the book. They will get that resource. They will sign up for the course or whatever you are offering. And what we teach there is that you, with the help of the Holy Spirit, you just have one simple strategy. So you have a website, you create one piece of content every week, and it is as simple as sitting with the Holy Spirit and asking Him, what is my message, or what do you want me to share to my readers this week? And you just write from that place. We teach you how to write content that's really going to connect with your person. We write from a place where we look at your identity, your purpose, and your calling. So we create one piece of content every week. We put that on the blog. We repurpose that piece of content and we send an email to your email list. And then you take that same piece of content and you create your social media, you schedule that so that it doesn't become an overwhelming task of having to create all sorts of content on all sorts of platforms, having a simple strategy that's Holy Spirit inspired and activated. That is going to be the key. The important thing is that you show up every week to help solve that problem for the people that you are called to help. Okay, so I want to give you a quick strategy that's going to help you create content that is going to connect with your readers. Every piece of content, whether that is a blog, an email, whether that's a chapter in your book or a social media post, it needs to have these four key elements. The first element is connection. You want the reader to feel like you can see them. You know, you've read their mail. You know the struggle that they are going through. The second element is that there's empathy. You know how they feel. They're not alone. Somebody else have experienced the same thing that they've experienced. Once you've established connection and empathy, then you start teaching. Now you can tell them what you have discovered. And you just give them one simple thing that can transform their life. Once you've shared your teaching, that is when you call them to action. So you're saying, I see you, I know how you feel, this is what I discovered. Now you go and try it. See if it works, see if it helps. Go and do it, and then come back and tell me, did it help? Did it change your life? Did it bring the transformation you were looking for? That's the kind of content that we want to be putting out there so that people can get to know us and we can start building trust with our audience. Okay. So here is just a little example from my book, Untangled. I just wanted to give you an idea of what this would look like practically. So I could write a social media post that says, I've written a book. It's a really good book. It's called Untangled. It's available on Amazon. It's available now. Get on Amazon, get the book. It's going to change your life. It's all true. It is a good book. It is going to change lives. The dinner is delicious, right? But people don't know the cook. They don't know me. They don't know that I actually understand what it feels like to go through that place of being tormented in the mind, of really being depressed and low and not wanting to get up in the morning. So instead of saying, here's my book, it's a great book, it's available on Amazon, go and buy it, I can say the following. Does it feel impossible to get God's attention? After years of mental torment, I knew that I had exhausted every natural solution. Only God could help me, but he felt so distant. One day, I walked into a cinema and everything changed. The Father was there waiting for me. I discovered that he wasn't angry or distant. He was ready to help me get untangled from the lies that kept me stuck. He wants to help you too. Start by reading my book, Untangled, where I share my story and some practical ways that you can get untangled too. Now, I hope that that gives you an idea of the difference between saying, here's my book, here's my story, and go and buy it. The difference between that and real connection, building real trust, offering a real solution so people can see that you care about their situation, you can see them, they're not alone, you have the answer, and now you can call them to action. Okay. Oh, before we go to Andrea, I just want to introduce her. Most of you will know her. Andrea's part of our Paper Crown Media team, but she's also an author and she's put some of these principles in place. And I want you to just listen to her experience as she has applied some of these truths in her own journey as an author. Um, yeah, I'll just let her tell you her experience. There you go.
Hi, family. I wanted to hop on here because Melissa has made some incredible posts these last couple of days about one of them was she gave the analogy, which I thought was great, of making a whole dinner and then realizing you have no one to come over. So if you haven't read that, make sure to go and read it because you won't regret it. And then she also has a video that she posted before this one that is so worth the listen. I have published a few books and I haven't had as much traction as I wanted to with them. I've been able to grow my audience because of the YouVersion reading plans, which has been great. But with this upcoming book that I'm publishing in her image, it's a 31-day devotional journey through Proverbs 31. I am having a completely different experience, and it is exactly the things that Melissa teaches us all the time. And we need to start building our audience before we click that publish button because it makes a big difference. On Sunday, I announced the pre-order of my book is now available. Historically, whenever I've published the book, the first day I get quite a few orders, and it's usually from friends and family. But this time, it's different because I got way more orders on the first day than I ever have before, and only one person was someone I actually knew. And the reason is exactly what Melissa has been talking about. It is because I've been building and nurturing my audience for the last year. A year ago, I created a reading plan, and I've been nurturing the people coming in through that reading plan since then. So when the book is, now that the book is coming out, there is an expectation and excitement. They know what it is that I'm teaching, and they want more. I've been sharing things, but limited. And I've been giving them a taste and a feel for who I am. I've been building trust with them. I've been getting to know them, understand what they're looking for, so much so that it's allowed me the opportunity to start planning on how I'm going to continue to give them what they need and what they want, even after the book, because I've been able to do this. There's so many ways. Melissa and I are going to put something together to share with you how I've been working on this book to kind of give you guys ideas. But the sky's the limit. Get creative. Pray. Ask God. Where are my people? How can I care for them? What do I share with them? How can I bless them? Pray for them always, all the time. Ask them what it is they need from you. How can you support them? And it's going to make a world of a difference. So I just wanted to come on here quickly and share that because I'm telling you that as I learn from Melissa, and listen, you guys, if you've worked with me, you know I'm part of the team. I do the formatting. So But I'm telling you that the things that I'm sharing like this, when I share like this, I'm not sharing from the perspective of I'm with the Paper Crown team. I'm sharing it from the perspective of an author who is trying to communicate something that God has given me to share with the world. And Melisa has helped me so much. I listen to her. I hear every Wednesday we have those mentoring calls, and there's times where she says something and I go right away and apply it. And every single time I see results every time. Now, we're all different. Our audience is different. The way we approach things is different. Even the social media platforms that we prefer are different. But the concepts are the same. So make sure not to get stuck in a box. Be creative. Think through things. The sky is the limit. Write down your ideas, whether or not you think you can do them. And just take care of your current readers and your future readers and your potential readers. And you're going to experience a lot more success. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Today is Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday. So for those of you who are part of the group, make sure that you attend those mentoring sessions. And if you can't because you're working or you're busy, make sure to listen to the replays because there's always some gold that someone shares on those calls. So love you guys. Bye.
Okay, that is the beautiful Andrea John. And go check out her website, andreajohn.com. You're going to find loads of her books and resources and podcasts. She is amazing, and she's also an amazing part of the Paper Crown Media team. So if you are still here, awesome. I want to very quickly, just briefly explain and share some of the results that our authors have been experiencing. I want to tell you a little bit about our Paper Crowns collaboration project. And you may have seen on my social media, I talk a lot about the fact that you don't have to write an entire book to share your message or to build your audience. In fact, we encourage our authors to start with one chapter. Write a chapter, build your platform, and then work on the books and the courses and the other projects that you want to release. Okay? So, our Paper Crowns books are anthologies. We get a group of authors, anywhere between 8 to 10, to each contribute a chapter to the anthology, and they write about their own encounter story, that place where they receive transformation in their own hearts. And we help them write and shape that chapter so that it's really going to connect with the people that they are called to reach. So they write the chapter. We then publish that chapter in the Paper Crowns paperback book, but it's not about that book. It's not really about having a published chapter in a book, although you will be able to say that you're a published author. What we do with that chapter is we turn it into a PDF lead generator so that you can use that chapter to grow your audience and build your email list. We also give you an EPUB file so you can publish your book on Amazon. We help you with that. We help you get that ebook out on Amazon. So that's your own chapter that's published as an ebook. We create your author website. We create a funnel, a whole client relationship management system. Again, it's that horse that pulls the cart. We help you create a system where people can connect with you, get onto your email list, and journey with you as you grow as an author, and as they grow, as they journey with you. Okay. So with your author website, we don't just, you get so many offers these days where people say they will build your website, but it's kind of generic. When we build the websites, we really, again, we go from your identity, purpose, and calling. We look at your core message. Who are you trying to reach? What problem are you solving? We built that website so that it's speaking to the people that you need to connect with. It's not just generic, it is your message tailored to you, designed according to your message. I don't know how else to put it because it's so much more than that. We really seek the Holy Spirit as we build so that it is a reflection of you as a unique expression of the Father's heart for the people he loves. What we do with that chapter is we connect it to the YouVersion Bible app. And this really is one of the most powerful tools that we have to help you grow your audience. So as people connect with your message on the YouVersion Bible app, oh goodness, sorry, there we go again. Oh, and we've gone straight to the end. Uh, sorry about that. Um, there we go. So as people connect with you on the YouVersion app, they download your chapter, they get on your email list, and you can start nurturing that audience. As part of that publishing process, you get the full Paper Crown Publishing Suite. You get an author bio page on our website. You get a podcast interview. We do an email blast to all our followers. And we also do continuous marketing of all our authors on our socials, on our website, for as long as you are part of the Paper Crown Media family. So I wrote a chapter in Paper Crowns Volume 1, and I just very quickly want to show you my results, my personal results. So when I started, before I had my chapter, I had 79 contacts on my email list. And as you can see, it took me from January to 2024 to September 24. Sorry, yeah, that was 2024 to build that um, list of 79 people. So that's 9 months to get to 79 people. I published my first chapter in the Paper Crowns book in October 2024. And from October to December, my list grew to 1,578 leads. So I wanted to give you a snapshot. So this was last year, 2025, August to September, 1 month, and it wasn't a great month. It was a bad month. As you can see, I was down by 65% of my normal results, and I still got 220 leads in 1 month. Um, Current situation, I have to update the slide. I always forget to do it, but it was September last year. I had 3,661 leads. Currently, I am just under 4,000 leads on my email list. Um, okay, hold on. These are my results from the YouVersion Bible app. So this was in 2024. I had reached over 40,000, well, no, not 40,000, 39, just under 40,000 people over 188 countries through the Bible app. Oh, again in the wrong position. And this was last year, 2025. On the left, you'll see my personal results as an author, because I'm an author. I'm not just a business owner with Paper Crown Media, but as an author, I reached over 99,000 lives, over 193 countries. And as Paper Crown Media, I reached over 64,000 people in 190 countries. Here are some of the results that our authors have experienced. So Shirley Chancellor, who is also our chief editor at Paper Crown Media, she's reached over 21,000 people last year. She has a couple of Bible reading plans on there. She's got over 5,000 downloads for her Bible reading plan, Deactivating Triggers. And these are not just downloads, these are people who have completed her Bible reading plan. This was our authors from last year's Paper Crowns Volume 2. Leanne Pearson did a chapter. She reached over 6,000 people. Mindy reached over 1,000 people who completed her plan. Linda Jordan over two and a half. The same with Georgia Schmeichel and Bruce Cross. They each also reached over 2,500 people. That was just last year. I need to ask them for fresh stats. This was Andrea's results last year. She reached over 78,000 people. These are some of her Bible reading plans. Her latest one, In Her Image, over 10,000 completions. This is incredible. Here is another one of our authors, Jenia Bishop. She's got loads of Bible reading plans. She's reached over 62,000 people over, I'm trying to look at that number. It looks like I can't see it properly, like 183 countries, but it's worldwide. She's reached people worldwide. So again, not writing a book, just writing one chapter and putting that system into place so that people can connect with you. You can start to nurture that audience. They can get to know your heart. You can start solving problems for the people God entrusted you with that need your message, that need your light, and that need to journey with you. Okay, so just to let you know that we offer all sorts of different ways that you can do it. We can help you create that simple, stress-free connection. We have a membership that costs $47 a month or $470 a year, where we offer you all the training, the support, 3 weekly mentoring sessions, so that you can do this on your own. You can build the system. You can write and publish the book. You can create the lead generators. We give you support with all of it, all the training and the support that you need to build it yourself. But if you want help, if you want it done for you, and you want to participate in the Paper Crowns collaboration project, we can also do that. There's a lot of time and work that goes into that project. We have a whole team of people who do editing, formatting, cover design, all the marketing pieces that's involved in it. But it costs £2,997 to do a chapter in a Paper Crowns collaboration. That's what we have on offer. And if you're interested, you can book a call with me and I can go through it with you in detail and see if you are actually the right fit for doing a Paper Crowns chapter and whether that's the right step for you, because you may be in a different place with your own ministry, with your own books and your own courses, programs, whatever you are doing. So it may not be the right move for you, but there might be a different strategy that will help you move forward. So if you want to book a call with me, then I will share the link with you in the chat box in a little bit. If you are interested in doing the level up strategy, that's a 2-hour workshop next week where we go through the marketing strategy that we teach to all of our Paper Crown Media authors, the Master Your Marketing GPT that will help you and save you hours of creating content according to the frameworks that we teach. So that's a great resource, AI tool that will help you write your content. You'll receive a clear growth action plan that's tailored to your goals. You'll have a lifetime access to the masterclass, and you'll also get the Answering the Call to Write workbook that is a PDF download and it's full of worksheets. It's like having a coach in your pocket, and you can use those worksheets over and over and over again. It will help you with everything from writing to publishing to marketing your book, and it will ask you all the right questions that you need in order to get your message into the hands of the people who need it. Okay, so I'm going to open up for some time. If you have questions, feel free to stick around, ask some questions. I just want to remind you there's the Level Up offer, there's the Facebook group. Remember to post your key takeaway in the Facebook group, and you can win an hour strategy session with me. There's the membership, and then I also do one-to-one coaching if that's something that you're interested in. Don't forget to do the homework. Post a key takeaway for an hour strategy session with me. Don't forget the hashtag Kingdom Impact. Post it in the Answering the Call to Write Facebook group, and we will get you moving forward. Okay, and then thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. And I just pray and bless your message. May it go further than you could have ever have dreamed of or imagined. Whether you join Paper Crown Media or not, that's absolutely fine. We are here coming alongside you, believing that you have a beautiful message straight from the Father's heart that people need. And we pray that you will connect with every person that that message was intended for. So be blessed. Have a great evening if you don't stick around, or stay and hang out with us for a bit. And it will be wonderful to get to know you more. Okay, so I'll just stop sharing. Okay, guys, thank you for still being here, watching me do my Kingdom Impact Masterclass presentation. Um, it's always good to practice. And I have to say, it's been a bit of a struggle this evening because my back is hurting. My back is hurting still. It's a lot better than it was, but yeah, it's still a little bit uncomfortable, so it distracts. Um, right. Do you guys have any questions or anything you want to discuss, or anything that you feel kind of resonated tonight that just didn't kind of click before? Everybody good?
It's always good to listen. I
Oh,
can get
good.
it. Another piece that you hadn't gotten before.
Yeah,
Thank
it's a pleasure. It's a huge pleasure. I just think these foundational truths are so important. Otherwise, we just make ourselves tired putting out content that doesn't really reach the people that needs it. So having something that is simple and clear, that's going to help you connect with people, nurture them, walk with them, that's the most important thing. You're welcome, Mindy. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Um, and it's like really understanding that identity piece, that purpose statement that we worked on at the beginning of the year. It's so important. If I wake you up in the middle of the night and I say, "Who are you?" You need to be able to give that purpose statement so clearly that you know exactly what your message is, who it's for, and how you're going to solve that problem for people. So if you feel you have clarity around that, that's awesome. I know we've done so much work with that, but it's always good to go back and just sit with that again and just ask the Holy Spirit, is this still relevant? Is this where I'm at? Because sometimes things change as well, and we become more clear as we move. Like the stuff that I'm writing and publishing, recently is nothing like what I did when I started out. It's evolved, it's changed. As my relationship with God has changed, I have become more clear on what it is that God has called me to do. So some of the things I used to do, I don't do them anymore. The way I market now is different. The way I connect with people is different. But having a simple strategy, just getting that process in motion so that you can start to get that message out there, connect with the people who need you, start loving them, start pouring into them. Um, the more you do that, the more you show up, the more everything will start to become more clear and the pieces will fall into place. It does take time, it does take consistency, but you will get there and your audience will grow. So, as Juanita is learning, people are coming. And I know Mindy's also been noticing her email list is growing. And for those who aren't on that journey yet, or you haven't seen the growth yet, you want to be prepared to serve that audience when they start to connect with you. And, there were many years where I felt over prepared. Like I had so much, I was so prepared to help. So prepared to help, and nobody was showing up to the dinner. And I had cooked an awesome meal, but nobody came for years and years and years. And now I'm glad I've practiced. I know what I'm doing, or I know what I'm offering because I know what God has created me to do. I know what He's called me to do. I know who He's called me to serve. And I can show up at any time, helping people, solving that problem, and serving them in the way God created me to serve them. All right, beautiful people. Mindy says, yes, things evolve. I'm finding that the books I've written have very little to do with where the Lord is taking me, although my chapter is sort of along the lines of the path God is taking me down. Yeah. Mindy, you will discover that that message will become more clear. I think there's you saying that it's got very little to do with where the Lord is taking you, but I think it does. You'll start to make the connections as you continue to work, because I think there's definitely a golden thread that runs through your message. And that is that element of embracing the season that you're in. It doesn't matter what season you're in, but you can step into the plans that God has for you in every season of your life. So, like, even if I think about the Paris room, the story of how you found love after, so many years of being single, like, so many people give up on finding that person. And the Lord did it for you in a season that was so unexpected. So there's a lot of stuff that will connect, and you keep going. You've been so consistent and so faithful. Um, you will see things click into place as you just carry on walking with him. You'll see it happen. Juanita, you said you tried something new this week, and what did you do? Tell us about it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so I had in my heart to offer the opportunity for the moms to meet with me for 30 minutes. And so I arranged it through Calendly and then
Mhm.
posted it on my Facebook group. And I have a meeting with a mom today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing. Ooh, that's really good. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so the idea is to ask them um, if they're finding the content beneficial, how can I serve them better? What do they need?
Hmm. Yeah. Getting to know the people in your audience, um, that's going to be very, very helpful for you to kind of structure that group because it's all about that person that you're called to serve and what they need. And sometimes we lead with what we know and we try and help people with, we say, I want to help you, I want to help you, I want to help you. And that guy's going, that's not what I need. That's not what I need. So
Mm-hmm.
we come with the knowledge. We don't really listen to hear what it is that our people, that the people that we are, that what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great way. What I would say is just be protective of your time. You can't meet with everybody one to one eventually because you are going to grow. So
Yeah.
just be very mindful of making that offer available to every, like just apply some wisdom with how many calls you can do a week, especially in this busy season.
Oh, yeah. I'm only
Um,
doing two. That's it.
yeah,
And only twice a week because, yeah, I couldn't do it every day.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because that's why if you can find a way where you can get people to come into a smaller group and
Mm-hmm.
and help people in a group setting, you can reach more people with less time. And
That's
then, when people do want to work with you one to one, that's something that you can really think about how do I want to, because your time is valuable. And it's something I needed to learn as well. So if you start to make yourself available, people will come to expect that you're available. Um, so then when you're introducing a program or coaching, then it can become difficult to start to monetize and ask people to sign up to things. I don't know if that makes sense.
it does.
Yeah.
I just I was looking for ways to, I guess, to understand what they're thinking about
Mm-hmm.
because they're busy moms.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to start doing Zoom meetings with them next
Mm-hmm.
month.
Yeah.
But I think you're right because then they're going to expect everything to
Yeah.
be available.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's more difficult going from being available to not being available. Like if people are used to you being available to do one-to-one calls and then you stop being available, that's hard because
Yeah.
now, you've always been available. Now, why can't I get on a call with you? So it's protecting your time and your family as well. You've got to make sure that it's not eating into your time and then creating expectations. So just be a little bit mindful of that.
And how would you then, what would you do like moving forward? Would you just take it off or the
Um,
page?
I would probably, yeah, I would pray about it, Juanita, see what the Holy Spirit says to you personally, whether this is part of your strategy for now. Um, Obviously honor the call. You could maybe change the page to make it like a temporary arrangement. So like I'm offering calls for the next month or for the next week or um so make it a temporary thing that has an ending so that people know that this is just temporary rather than a continuous thing that you're going to do every month.
That's a good idea. Because I don't know. I When you do a Facebook Live, you like it obviously it's harder to connect with the people. You don't
Yeah,
know if what you're sharing is helpful or not. So I just
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to see if the things that I was posting were
yeah,
landing, you know?
yeah. There's you're going to have a little bit more faith that it is landing. I know it doesn't always feel like that, especially when you're starting out and you don't see a lot of engagement.
Mhm.
There are other ways you can get some feedback as well. Um, like one of the things I've noticed, and again, I just apologize because my head is a little bit all over the place. Um, a lot of people will, or I've heard from people that have said, "Oh, I love that post you wrote," or "That's really helped me," but they didn't comment on the post. They didn't even like the post. They didn't even, So I'm reminded of Jesus when he healed people, the lepers, the 12 lepers, and 10 of them went away. Only two turned around to say thank you.
Mhm.
And that is always the case. I always tell myself for every two people that comment on a post or likes a post, there are 10 others who didn't engage, but they read it or it meant something. I mean, if you think about yourself, there's loads of times when I read things. I read so many things when I scroll. And some stuff I take in and I think, wow, that was amazing. But I don't stop to comment or say anything or do anything because I don't know. I'm busy and I just don't. But
Mhm.
so the way we look at results and engagement and likes and comments and things like that, it's not a true picture of what's actually happening behind the scenes. You have to trust that you just being there consistently, putting seed in the ground, putting seed in the ground, putting seed in the ground, it's going to take root and it's going to create a harvest because you're faithful and you're not giving up. Galatians 6:9, right? You're just turning up and you're sowing the seed consistently, consistently. If I had to go by engagement and likes and numbers, I would have given up years ago. Years ago.
But I'm talking about more if what I'm posting is useful. Because sure, the engagement is important.
Hmm.
But so I guess in my mind, I think they're not saying anything, so it's not useful, right?
Yeah, but that's not true. That's not true. And it's always good to get feedback from your group. As you start to get people into smaller groups, that's what I would do is get that connection group where moms can come and just share. And instead of asking them, just start to listen to what they are sharing with you. Like, what are their struggles? What are the things that they're wrestling with? Um, at the moment, you know that your mission is to give them a place where they can connect with others and they can connect with God. They can be refreshed. So your focus at this point is simply just to create that oasis for them every week, or that moment at the well. As they come to the well, you start listening to conversations. Just ask them, get to know them. How are you? How was your week? What was the low point? What was the high point? Like just listen. They will start to reveal what they're struggling with, what's going on. It's going to take a bit of time, but um, you'll get to know them. They'll get to know you, and it'll start to become clear. But you're on the right track. You're producing really good content. You are giving people refreshment for their souls. You're giving helpful tips, helpful hints, and people will let you know. They will let you know what they need as you get to know them in the small group. But I would start with the smaller groups and then eventually start working with people one to one, because you want to protect your time as well and not let this take over your
Yeah.
diary.
So I guess I can just do it for these 2 weeks
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see what
Even if you
happens.
want to give it a month, but make it very clear that it's a temporary thing. You just want to get to know people in the group, and find out how you can help them and support them. And I think, but yeah, make it a temporary thing so people don't
Okay.
expect it to
Thank you.
continue. You're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Vi. Oh, guys, my battery is very low, my laptop battery. I hope, and I don't have my charger next to me. So if I go, I apologize. Um, what's your question, Vi? I'm so sorry.
I want to second it, what you're saying, that
Hmm.
her content is correct. She's trying to second guess herself, and that's something that we all do.
Yes.
But the verse in the Bible came to mind of, there hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. What she's talking about is it's common to every young mother. That verse she uses in Isaiah was a verse that I hung on to when I was a young mother. And
Hmm.
I haven't really looked at her fruit much because I'm not a young mother. But what I've heard her share, it was the very things that I was dealing with when I was a
Yes.
young mother.
Yes. That's so encouraging, Vi. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that because it's universal. The things that we are talking about, that we're solving for people. I mean, it's the journey we walk that we can talk about. If we've walked it, we can talk it. That's what I would say is if you will know what people need because you needed it at the time. Um, in fact, there's a really great exercise to do, and it's just to kind of go back to that place, go back to your rock bottom. How did you think? How did you feel? What was your life like? What was a typical day like? When you do that exercise, you are going to it's going to unlock a lot of stuff for you. Like what was those pain points in your own life, the problems you experienced? Like what was your thought process? What was your emotions like? What was your relationships like? What was your finances like? What was your physical health like? Like really just thinking about how these different things affected you when you were going through it. And keep it simple. You don't need to give everybody everything they need. What is that one thing that you're anointed to do? It's to create, for Juanita, is it to create a moment at the well? Because moms don't have a lot of time. They're busy, but they may just need a moment to come to the well, have a little sip of encouragement, have a little sip of just, I've got you, girl. I see you. I know it's hard. You can do this. Jesus is here. He's got living water for you today. He loves you. Go do it. Go do your thing. You know, I'm over here cheering for you. So keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay. All right. I am going to stop the recording before my laptop starts to, and then I need to find